Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people who I live on nostalgia, and I live on kind of like that. If something makes me feel good, like be it a game, be it a film, from years ago. I'm almost 35. I was born in '88. So growing up, I've seen the evolution of tape to disc, and record to CD, DVD, Blu-ray. I've seen the transitions of things, but you always remember those particular moments, those particular games or films. But in this case, we'll talk about games. There's particular games that make an impression on you so fondly that you never kind of drop them. And this is the case with Volition. Now, Volition have closed. If no one knows, Volition are a games company, and they've made games for over 30 years, and they've done so many different games. And instead of me kind of talking about, because you can find probably videos online everywhere talking about this, about the reasons they may have closed and why and all this other stuff, I'm not here to kind of discuss all the ins and outs of that. That's not what I'm here for. What I'm here to talk about is the games that left that impression on me. So we will begin with probably the most nostalgic and iconic game that really did it just for me, it was the RPG of RPGs. I absolutely loved this game, and I still play it to this day. I still play it to this day. It's called Summoner, and it was the first RPG they ever did, actually. Volition, and it's one of those games that's it was like, I wouldn't say open world, but it had big areas, and it weren't vastly filled. But this was on the PlayStation 2. This had been run on the PC. This is from First Place HD, I believe. Yeah, First Place HD. This is their video. But if you just take a look at this, you talk to characters. The music was great. This looks great because it's on PC, but on PS2, this was like an incredible game to have on PS2. And you have your inventory, you can change your gear, you change your weapon using these rings of power, and you have the markings to use them. And you see, it's like a slightly, I wouldn't say turn-based, but it's definitely got that kind of like, it just plays the battle out, and you just got to put the commands in. But we'll be talking about Summoner again in a bit. But yeah, this is such a great game. It's an old school, classic RPG that isn't perfect by any means. I'm not saying it's the perfect RPG or anything like that. But this really, it borrowed a lot of tropes, and it definitely had so much, there was so much in it that it was so good. And it's one of those things where it's just one of those, for people who are old school gamers or nostalgia gamers, or people just like playing some of the retro stuff, you got to try Summoner, especially now with Volition being gone. So the next game we're going to be talking about is The Punisher. Now, The Punisher is the Marvel character, Frank Castle and all that. This is from John Good Games. This is a video from their channel.
What is this place?
Ow! Bite me, asshole! That shit out.
Just bashing his head. Just to get information out of him. Then you break him.
He's up on the fourth floor.
Just finishes him off. So good. And it was so nice to play this game. The gunplay and executions and
Hey,
real.
Maurice, where the hell are you? Oh shit, you!
Just chopped him to the nose. You know what I mean? It's so good. Look, shotgun. I mean, look, it's so big and bold. You know what I mean? It's so.
Nothing to worry about.
Brilliant game. And this is what I remember. This is. Look, the slat slits his throat, bro. Look. This game is so good. I know, I need to play it now. Come on, you telling me you don't want to play this game? Come on. Look right in his jaw. Oh, mate, come on. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't. What more do I need to say about the Punisher? But the fact that Volition, it might not just be Volition. I apologise, but it came from that studio. This came from them. You have a hand in these things. And the next game we're going to be speaking about, Red Faction Guerrilla. The Guerrilla was an more open world-ish kind of game. You can take vehicles and you do missions around. Oh, and Red Faction was quite proud that most environments were destructible. Like you'd blow up tankers and fall towers down, take bridges out. There's a lot of explosion and destruction. And there it goes, you know. And that was kind of how that's how what sold it. It was just that kind of stuff. But yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea what I'm going for. I mean, whew, take them out. But yeah, you get the idea. And that is Red Faction Guerrilla. Now the final game I'm going to talk about, and this is probably the last one I ever played from Volition, because after this, I don't think I never played Saints Row. I never played The Descent. This game here was probably one of my most favourite RPGs of all time. And I just think it was such a fantastic sequel. I loved it so much. And because of the nostalgia bug and kind of like the whole... oh my god, my camera. Because of the nostalgia bug and the whole kind of way it kind of hit me, this is Summoner 2 just was absolutely incredible. And this is from Timeless Gaming, this is their channel. And yeah, you'll see. So it went from being just kind of like point and click and just press buttons to you actually being in full combat here. You know, button mashing attack, and you could cast spells. And you would just be in real-time combat. You know, you could defend here, and you just be in real-time combat. But full CGI cutscenes here like this, voice acted. I mean, look at that little touch of the sword. Yeah, taking the yeah, man. You know, I mean, that is just little stuff like that just made a difference. Such a great game. Had this kind of semi-open world. You had different areas of lore. There was so much lore and history, and it just, yeah, it was so good. The kind of the culmination of the video is to kind of say, you know, personally, you know, for myself, being a gamer, being almost 35, and playing a portion of Volition's games, and then being a massive part of my childhood, and even today, kind of saying to my son, or you know, even saying to people like, have you played the Punisher game on PS2? Have you ever played Summoner? You know, have you ever played Red Faction? And that's what, you know, Volition did. They provided those memories, those nostalgia moments, those games. And like, as a gamer, it's a shame that things go this way. I just want to say, from myself to Volition and to all the people who worked on these games in the past, and even to people who worked up to Saints Row, and you know, thank you very much. You know, thank you so much for these great games. But yeah, thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure playing Volition games, and the ones I've talked about here today. So that's about it. Take care.